Hello friends, today we shall be learning an amazing function in Microsoft Excel which can make you an Excel boss at your workplace. Suppose we have a database having employee-wise project details such as employee names, project numbers, project status, the project completion dates, and project value. The details are for two employees, Robert and George. Both of them have worked upon various projects, and all those projects are either at the draft stage or final stage. Now, suppose your manager requires you to quickly present this data to him where he needs to find out what is the latest or the earliest completion date for each project status, along with the lowest and highest project value. Now, if you think this can be simply done using regular Excel filters and data sorting, then yes, you are right, it can certainly be done. However, this is the boring and manual method of working with Excel. Also, your manager won't have time to let you sort or filter data and get the result for every permutation and combination of employee name and project status. So, how can you do this the smart way? Well, Excel has every solution for you. Let's find out. To cater to this requirement, we can use the Excel MAXIFS or MINIFS function, which specifically returns the highest or the maximum value as well as the lowest or the minimum value when a certain condition or criteria is met. So, here, as you can see, I have a drop-down for employee names and project status in cells B3 and B4. Then, we have to bring the latest date and the very first initial date in cells D3 and D4 basis the employee name and the status selected. Similarly, in cells F3 and F4, we can bring the highest and the lowest project values basis the selected drop-downs. So, let's begin. I have selected the employee Robert, and under the project status, I have selected the draft stage. Now, in cell D3, we require the latest date, so we type is equal to MAXIFS. Then under the max range, we need to select the column of completion date as this would be the return value. Next, we have to provide the criteria ranges and their respective criteria. So we first select the column employee name, and under the criteria, we shall select cell B3. Now, under the second criteria range, we shall select the column project status, and for the criteria, select the cell B4. We are done with the criteria, so we close the bracket and enter. Once you enter, you can see we have received the date as 10th August 2023 basis our selected drop-downs. Let's verify the same from the source database. So we shall select employee Robert and then draft stage under project status. And as you can see, there are 3 projects for Robert and the latest completion date is 10th August, which is the perfect result as required. Let's replicate the same formula under cell F3 to derive the highest project value. So, here I am copying the same formula and pasted the same in cell F3. Now, we just have to replace the max range column from completion date to project value, that is column E, and enter. Again, as you can see, the highest project value is coming to $26,200. Let's verify from the source database, and yes, that's exactly the value which we require. This is the highest value amongst all the 3 projects Robert has worked upon. Now, remember we also require the minimum values, so let's filter out everything. Now, under cell D4, we shall type is equal to MINIFS. Then under the min range, we shall select the completion date column D as the return value. Then our criteria would be the same as selected earlier, that is employee name and project status. Once we add these, we shall close the bracket and enter. Here you go. We have received the very first initial date of project completion for Robert, which is 30th April 23. Let's verify the same by filtering the source database as per the drop-downs, and we can see the date is absolutely correct. This is the most initial date amongst the 3 projects. Similarly, we can also replicate the same formula under cell F4. So, here I copy the formula and paste it. Now, again, we just have to replace the min range column from completion date to project value, which is column E. Here you go. Let's verify the lowest value from the source database. Let's filter Robert and draft stage. Check the column E. The lowest project value is $14,300, which is the exact result we have received in cell F4. It was so easy, right? And it just takes less than a minute to apply the formula, and once applied, you can change the criteria as you wish and the formula would give you the result accordingly. Let's select employee name as George and project status as final stage, and as you can see, once I change the conditions, all the results are changed to reflect the correct values. For George, the latest date is 9th August, and the initial date is 12th May. Similarly, The highest value is $25,100 and the lowest is $14,650. Let's verify from the source data by filtering George, then final stage under the project completion column. And yes, the latest date is in cell D15, the initial date in cell D12, highest project value in E12, and finally, the lowest value in cell E15. So, friends, as you saw, this is such a simple function, but can save your time for manual filters and sorting when you have a large data set and more than 2 or 3 conditions. Excel's MAXIFS and MINIFS function can surely help you to effectively present the data to your manager, and now your manager is your fan. That's it for today. Guys, I hope you find this tutorial helpful. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.